guys, welcome to Mrs. G's Sewing Space. I'm Mrs. G. I'm glad you're able to join me. We're starting a new series. We're making a bag. It is Simplicity 8037, and we are going to be making this bag, letter C, right here. The following series of videos, I think I'm going to cut it down into 3 videos, maybe 2. No, it'll probably be 3. Anyways, I'll probably cut it down into 3 videos. And I'm going to break it down into sections. So the video that you're going to watch right now is talking about the pattern, the instructions on the back, the pattern back, the instructions that come with the pattern, and anything that pops into my head that I think you guys need to know in the meantime for that particular one. I'm still working on the videos for actually putting the bag together and some of the things that are popping up as you cut out the pattern. That's what's going to go on in our first video, and then as our other videos roll through, it'll just be regarding the process, how I'm putting things together and following the instructions, and how well the instructions from the pattern work with putting the bag together. Because I have to tell you, sometimes everybody's human. The pattern companies sometimes don't give you accurate instructions. Well, not accurate. Sometimes they're a little hard to understand. And sometimes you as a person just may not understand the instructions because you learn differently. So that's why I'm here. I'm trying to show you how to put this particular bag together. That's it. I will see you on the other side of the video. Okay, so we're going to be working on the Simplicity 8037 bag pattern, and this is the one that I've chosen. This is number C, and I've already marked it here on the front, and we are going to go through the pattern. We're going to talk about fabrics, interfacing, and everything in between until we have a completed bag. So the first thing that attracted me about this particular pattern is I thought the bags were cute. I like the handles. I like the style handle right here, and I also kind of like the pockets right here on this one. I'm kind of on the backpack, but I like the little drawstring bags, so I thought that was super cute. One of the things you see down here is when I purchased the pattern and I brought it home, I decided to take it back to the store so I could look at fabrics going on the recommendations on the back. So what I did is I took it to the front desk, customer service, or somebody that worked there, and had them sign off on my pattern, showing that this is my pattern. I didn't try to steal it, and if somebody asks about it, then I have a signature here saying, hey, we brought it in, I brought it in, and I didn't steal it, and I have a signature there showing that I didn't steal it. So looking here at the back, the first thing that we're going to notice at the top is our fabrics. So our fabric recommendation is broadcloth, canvas, chino, chintz, cotton types, gabardine, lightweight denim, linen types, pinwheel corduroy, pique, I believe that's how that's pronounced, pique, twill, duck, and laminates. So you have a variation of broadcloth, which is a very thin fabric, to canvas, which is exactly what it means, canvas. It's the same type of fabric that's used to paint on. They stretch it over wooden frames and then prime it, and so that fabric. Chino is like a bottom weight. It's the same type of fabric that's used for pants and skirts. Chintz, if you love flowers, you know what chintz is. Cotton types, that would be like quilting cotton. And then gabardine, lightweight denim. So that's, I've never actually worked with gabardine, so I'm not sure what type of fabric it is. But lightweight denim would be not the heavy Levi denim, but the stuff that you get at Joann's that's a little lighter, like the jeans you get nowadays. Linen types, so anything that's linen-like, which is it's a thinner fabric. Pinwheel corduroy is kind of thicker. I'm not sure about pique. I've never worked with pique, but twill, duck, and laminates are also heavier fabrics. Twill is a bottom weight that you could use for pants and skirts. Duck and laminate. Duck is kind of like a canvas, and then laminates, I'm assuming they mean anything like an oilcloth. What I chose was a quilting cotton, and let me go ahead and show you. So I chose a quilting cotton from Joann's, and I looked really hard, and I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I tend to suck at picking out patterns, but I happened to see this, and I thought it was fabulous. And if you look really close, I thought it was bumblebees in the beginning, but it's not. It's scissors and needles and measuring tapes and thread and mannequins, old-fashioned mannequins. And I thought it was just the prettiest fabric. And I have a hard time giving up anything with sewing notions on. It is just so pretty. But I'm not a big yellow fan either, but it's just so pretty. So as I was looking, I found this fabric to go with it. I figured it would be a good contrast. It still has the yellow in it, but it has some little daisies and some of the teal scissors and other colored scissors, and I thought that would be really nice. So this would be like the bottom, and the bright yellow would be the top. And I'm going to use plain white muslin on the inside. And then I wanted to do a contrast for the handles. So if you see here, so this particular bag has two different fabrics. It has a lighter fabric on the top and a darker fabric on the bottom. That's for the pockets. And then a completely different fabric that still on the inside of each of these fabrics themselves for handles. And so I was debating between a yellow or the teal, but I really like the teal. I like how it looks against this fabric, which is where it's going to be sewn at mostly. And so that's what I decided. So these are the fabrics that I got. This bright yellow with scissors and sewing notions, the black with the scissors, and the teal for the handles. Now I will tell you guys, usually, you know, it's kind of like one of those things when I see something that bothers my eye design-wise, I'm like, oh, that doesn't go together. But when it comes to stuff that I make for myself, I don't have that same filter. I'm like, it's kind of like anything goes. If you've seen some of my stuff in the past, holy schmoly, it's been awful. But I think this really goes really cute together. So we're going to roll with it. And that's my fabric that I've chosen. Like I said, it's a quilting cotton, but it has the print on it. So I'm really excited about that. And because we're making a bag, I'm not even going to bother to wash it. Because I'm lazy. If this was for a shirt or skirt or something like that, I would definitely wash it because I would be wearing it. But for a bag that I'm making that will probably never be washed, more than likely, I'm not even going to worry about it. But I really like the fabric, super cute. Okay, so going on to our pattern envelope. So as we look down, we can down here on the side, there's 26 pieces, which means there's 26 pattern parts, but that's for all the bags, not just one bag, that's for all the bags. And here on the back you'll see the drawings, the individual pencil drawings for each of the bags with their letters on them. And so I chose C, and I went ahead and marked what I needed for fabric. And here it lists the fabric that you need. So we have, it's approximately 17 by 15 inches, and you'll need a 5/8 of a yard. And when you see this, 45 or 60 with those little asterisks right there, so this is 45 inches wide or 60 inches wide. Usually fabric comes in mostly 45, but sometimes you can find them in 60 inches wide. And usually the 60-inch wide you find in apparel fabrics or home decor fabrics. Quilting cotton and fabrics like those are usually 45 inches wide. Then you have your contrast tote and drawstring. So the inside of the tote, the lining, you would need 3/4 of a yard. The contrast pockets, 7/8 of a yard. Handles, almost a half a yard, so 3/8 of a yard. And then interfacing, you need 1 3/4 of a yard of 20-inch to 25-inch lightweight fusible, such as Pellon. Now, me personally, I know that I'm going to, for my lining on the inside, I'm going to use muslin that I already have, so I don't have to worry about that. It's a white muslin. I went ahead for my tote. I rounded up and got a yard of everything. It just makes life easier, and I can always do stuff with the extra. I can quilt or make patches for my blanket, or, you know, whatever. When I purchase fabric, I always round up to the nearest yard. That's just what I do. So when you see these asterisks right here, those asterisks are usually meant to go to the bottom, where you can see down here at the bottom it says without nap, with nap, with or without nap. So nap is when you have a fabric like velvet or corduroy where you can feel the texture, and if you rub it up one way it's rough, and if you rub it down the other way it's smooth. That's nap. So it's telling you you can use the fabric with or without nap. So if you get a 60-inch wide piece of fabric, you can use it with nap, meaning going along. You'll have enough room to lay out all your pattern pieces to be able to lay them out so all the nap is going the same way and you're okay. Okay, so now we're going to open up. Let's open up our pattern. So on the inside, you're going to see your pattern pieces and the instructions. So here's our instructions. And this is the only time you will ever see your pattern pieces nice, flat, folded all together, just like this. Because once you flip them open and you start cutting out your pieces, they will never look like this again. So enjoy it while you have it. So this particular pattern has 2 pages. So let's look at our front page. So I'm going to fold this in half so I can get you guys in. Okay, so this is the top half of our front page, and if you look over here, there's also the pencil drawings again, and what, you know, each one's labeled so you'll be able to follow along. Here across the top, right here, the important part right here is our cutting layouts. So this front page is going to tell us how we need to lay out our pattern pieces on our fabric so that we can get the most use out of our fabric. And it gives you everything that you need to know. Your pattern printed side down, your pattern printed side up, and all your general directions. You know, it says pre-shrink and iron all fabric. I'm not going to worry about it. For double thickness, fold the pattern. For single thickness, pin. And then it gives you just special instructions that you may or may not need to follow depending on what bag you're cutting out or what, you know, what information that you need. So as we fold this over, we are going to look down here at the bottom half. So right here, this is a list of all of our pattern pieces and what bags they are supposed to be going to. So this is what I do when I get my pattern. I grab a highlighter and I mark the pieces that we need for our particular project. So for our project, we're doing C. So I'm just going to go here on my list and mark C. And let's see. Okay, so now on my list I have a front and back, which is number 10. So this is what my front and back is going to look like. I have a pocket center, so number 11. I'm going to mark that. Number 12, pocket side, so wherever number 12 is. Okay, so mark that one. 13 is my handle. So where's 13? Oh, there it is right here. So this is going to be number 13. Number 14 is Number 14 is my handle interfacing, so there's 14 right here. So this is going to be number 14. 15 is my inside pocket, and that is right here. And 16 is my drawstring. Number 16 is right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pattern pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are my pattern pieces. I have them all marked, so at a quick glance I can see what I need, what I'm missing, and anything else in between regarding these particular pattern pieces. So as I continue on my front page, now that I know what my pattern pieces are, this front page is going to tell me how I'm going to lay out my pattern. So I need to look for letter C, because letter C will tell me how. See, this one is letter A, that's the backpack, which we're not doing. So this is tote B, not doing that. So here's the C tote. So this one tells me right here, if I'm using piece 10, 44, 45, or 58, or 60 inches with a nap, that's how I need to fold the fabric and how I need that pattern piece to lay. So the contrast tote and drawstring inside of tote uses pieces 10 and 16, and that's how you would lay it out on the fabric. And if you notice, they have the fold here, so it looks like I'm not laying my pattern on the fold, it's just close to the fold. So then I have my contrast pockets here, so pieces 11, 12, and 15 out of that fabric. So that would be the bottom fabric. For my purse, it would be the black, it would be this fabric for the contrast pockets, so that would be the outside. And then my handles and my interfacing, and that's it. Sorry about that, my camera cut off on me real quick. So this is what I was trying to say earlier. This pattern piece right here is going to be the yellow. The contrast tote and drawstring is my lining, which is going to be the muslin. The contrast pockets is the black scissor fabric, which is going to be the bottom half of the outside. And then my handles is going to be the teal. And then interfacing. I have to interface most of these pieces because the quilting cotton is just not strong enough. So on my next video, I'm going to show you how to lay out the fabric so that we can get the most out of it. But I don't know if I'm necessarily going to follow these instructions. It depends on how I feel and if I can get a better layout than these, because these instructions are going on the assumption that you purchased the correct amount of fabric that was on the back of the pattern envelope. But because I purchased more, I can probably lay things out slightly different. So as we flip this page over, we will see it move on to our actual pattern instructions, or our roadmap on how to put everything together. Now this one is backpack A, so we'll need to move on to our second page to find the instructions for our particular tote. Let's see. So those are instructions for tote B. So here's our instructions for tote C. So, and they have everything. When you look at the instructions and you have multiple patterns like this, they have everything broken down. So when you see tote C in that line right here, that's an imaginary line that goes all the way across. So all this information is for the prior tote, so we don't even have to worry about that. So our information starts right here and continues on down until the next project. So here's tote C, and it's a good idea to go ahead and read through your instructions before you even start cutting everything out. So that way if you have any questions, you can always, just try to figure everything out. It says prepare the tote front and back sections, and it tells you how to do that. So it's telling you to do the pocket and add the pocket to the front. And let's see, then you apply the interfacing, you stitch, and then you're applying the contrasting pocket to the outside. Then your handle, so your handle's here. And then we'll move on to the other side. And then, okay, so from what it looks like, these are the rest of our instructions. So then we add our handles. So the side seams, so the bottom, do another pocket. Oh, so we're beginning with the outside of the pattern. So everything that we've done to step 11 is completely regarding the outside. So at step 12, we'll do the inside and then attach it to the bag and finish it out. So our next video, I'll show you how to lay out the fabric, cut it out, and we'll start the sewing process. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. And if you have any questions, pop them below in the comments so that we can go through them together. And if you guys decide to go out and have a sew along, that would be awesome. The following videos would be on the following Mondays. So I think there'll probably be about 2 more videos out. And listen, let's look at my fabric again because it's just so pretty. I love it. I don't like yellow that much, but this yellow and my matching O is just so pretty together. I love it. Alright, you guys have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just want you guys to know that not only are these instructions for this particular bag, but it's kind of a general rule of what you're going to find when you look at sewing patterns, no matter what the pattern is, whether it's a bag or a stuffed animal, an accessory like a hat, or clothing. Now, clothing is slightly different. There's a little more to it than the instructions that we show here on this bag. But I wanted to show you just kind of a general set of how the pattern and the instructions and everything's going to look whenever you pull out a pattern. For you guys who have never done any of this before, who want to do it, but have never done any of it, this is what it's going to kind of look like. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them whenever they show up. And if, as always, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will always know when I have a new video coming out. I always put out a video on Monday and I vlog on Friday, and I do my best to stick to that schedule. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I do my best to stick to that schedule. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can either follow along each week as we're putting things together with this particular pattern, or just wait until I'm done with the whole series, and then you can watch it from beginning to end and create your bag yourself. And also remember, go on to Mrs. G's Sewing Space on Facebook. You can ask questions there, have any sort of discussion, and if you have pictures you want to pop up there or anything like that, feel free to do so. I would love to have a place where we can all get together and chit chat and show off the things that we've made. I also have Instagram, Mrs. G Sewing Space. That would be a hashtag Mrs. G Sewing Space. And I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next video on my vlog on Friday as well. And there we go. Have a good time, guys. Bye.
Bum, bum.